Shalom, real quick, giving all praise to Yahweh by Shem Shai by Shem Rakakwada. Shalom to the 144,000, the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, it's going to be short, relatively short. I'm going to entitle this video, Tucker Carlson Knows That We Descended from Jacob. So you know damn well he knows that who he is. So this is a video that was put up by Ibar Yahwadah number 7. This was put up 40 minutes ago. Watched the whole video, watched up to about this point here, and I had to make a video. So this is a recent short on TikTok, whatever you call it. Tucker Carlson quoting some scientists concerning so-called black people. And he knows we're the Israelites because he came to the camp. He came down, he walked down to the camp, and the video's on YouTube. It was on my main page. They took that page down years ago, but brothers had taken, recorded it and put it up. So if you look for it, I believe it's Tucker Carlson pays a visit to the men of GMS or something like that. And you can clearly see in the video, he figured that we didn't know who he was. I remember him when he was at CNN. Okay, I remember when he was at CNN, then from CNN he was at MSNBC, then he disappeared for a while, then he wound up at Fox. Because he thinks, Jake doesn't watch these talking head shows, these news type shows. Because the first thing I asked him was, first of all, he walked and he kind of stopped and he turned and he said, "What are you guys all about?" And I saw right through him. It was his plan. He knew what we were all about. Maybe they sent him. And I said, "Are you a new?" Because I forgot his name at that particular time. When he left, I said, "Yeah, Tucker Carlson." When he left, but I said, "Are you a news?" I said something to the effect, "Are you a newscaster? Do you do the news?" And he kind of looked at me like, "No, like I don't know what you're talking about." And in my mind, I said, "Yeah, this is a news guy. I just can't remember his name." So he got to ask his questions, and we basically, I cut to the chase and said, "Look, it's all about Jacob and Esau, the Israelites and the Edomites. And if you're an Edomite, you're going into captivity." And he kept saying, "But why am I going into captivity? But why am I going into slavery?" So I asked him, I said, "What are you? Are you Irish? Are you Italian? Are you Scandinavian?" I forget what he said. I believe he said he was Scandinavian and Danish and whatever. So could he be a Jake? He may be a Jake. I said, "Look, if you're an Edomite, if your line goes back to the Edomites, then your future is slavery." And he kind of fucked with him. He stayed for about a good, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes, maybe more. And then he left, never came back. And at that time, he was at Fox. This was in 2014, so we're talking 10 years ago. So anyway, this is the video, True Power. Tucker Carlson says black people are superior physically, mentally, and spiritually. Which the first precept that should come to your mind is Genesis, which I'm going to go to that and bring this over here. So they already know that their time is up. They're getting ready to go down. We're going to slap the crown off their head and put it on our heads. Off their heads and put it on our heads. Let me go to the King James. Barashith. Barashyath. What does that mean? Barashith. The small house had say Barashith. What does that mean? Genesis. The hell am I doing? Okay. Yeah, this is 25. You had started 19, but I'm going to go right to 25. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they call his name Esau, which means Hebrew word Aishashwa or Aishah, which means wasted away he. Now, they'll tell you, if you click on that, they'll tell you that it means hairy. It doesn't mean hairy. And they called his name uh, Aishah. And they say it means hairy. It does not mean hairy. It does not mean hairy. And you know how I know that? Because seer, let me do this. Let me do a little experiment right here. Okay, that's why they said he was a hairy man. He hairy, this, that, and the third. Genesis, what is that, 38? 38 or 36 and 8. I'm sorry, it's 36 and 8. Huh. Yeah, Esau took his wife with the daughter of Canaan, and also of he took a daughter of Ishmael, and his parents, they told, you know, Jacob not to do that, which means Esau's not to do it as well. And you know the reason why he did it, so he can get his pigment back, his melanin back. Okay, let me go down to thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. That's why we always say you got to go into the etymology to get a deeper understanding. Now Esau is Ishur, which they say it means hairy. Well, if that's the case, this is Seir or Shah Sha'ir, which means hairy. Hairy or shaggy. So Esau doesn't mean hairy, it means wasted away is he. Or Ishur. Sha'ir is Seir, which means hairy. So the blue letter goes off sometimes. I'm almost there. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and he called his name Aishur, which means wasted away is he. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob, or Yaquab, supplanter, and Isaac, Yatazakak, not Yatazaquak, but Yatazakak, which means laughter, was 60 years old. 60, when she bare them, Jacob and Esau. And the boys grew, and Esau was I'm sorry, you know what I'm going to do? Let me go to the 19. I've been forced to go to the 19th verse. 22nd verse. And the children struggled together within her, and she said they were having a death match, a UFC cage match, because those are the two opposing spirits. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahweh. And Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. So out of these 2 babies going to come out 2 separate nations through their offspring. And 2 manner of people, 2 different type of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people. So now this is the transcript right here. This is at 127. This is Tucker speaking. Had to say, King reveals, as a scientist, that the core of the human brain is the locus coeruleus. I got to look that up. I got to do some research on that, which is a structure that is black because it contains large amounts of neuromelanin. Neuro meaning nerves, which is essential for its operation. 2, black infants sick, crawl, and walk sooner than whites. 3, Carol Barnes notes that human melanin processes are controlled by melanin, that same chemical which gives babies their superior physical and mental abilities. 4, some scientists have revealed that most whites are unable to produce melanin because their pineal glands, I spoke about this before, the pineal gland, are often calcified. Now, to decalcify your pineal gland, there's certain things that you take. One thing is a supplement called Go2 Cola, and I used to take that. I gotta continue to take it. Okay, melanin. Let's bring this up. Non-functioning, I'm going to stop it right. Let me see. There you notice how he says blacks. This is the brother speaking. But this is the main thing that I wanted from what Tucker had to say. And you watch the video, you can actually hear him saying it. Let me go back a little bit. Okay. That human that human mental processes are controlled by melanin, that same chemical which gives blacks their superior physical and mental abilities. For some scientists have revealed that most whites are unable to produce melanin because their pineal glands are often calcified. So there you have it. They know. They know who we are. They know what great. Hey, look, if the people over there are the people of the Most High, and in Palestine, don't they have teams that go to the Olympics? They would always win gold medals. Here we go. Israel wins all the gold medals. They win it in boxing, wrestling, weightlifting, uh, whatever sport there is. They would just dominate. They would just dominate. Every world champion in boxing would be them. All of the hip hop will come out of that land. Jazz. They're not creative people. Just spitting facts. Well, you're being anti-something. Nope, I'm being real. All this magic come from Jake, man. You got the Latin music. You got reggaeton. You got bachata, if I'm saying that right. You got salsa. You got merengue. You got in Americas you got jazz. You got rock and roll. Originators of rock and roll came out of the black church. All right. You got hip hop. You got so many genres of hip hop, so many categories of hip hop. You come with that first, the Sugar. What was the name of that? Was that the Sugar Hill Gang or whatever the hell they were called? Hip hop to hip it. You come sing it, you doing that, they'll laugh at you. Unless you're doing a tribute to the birth of hip hop when it became mainstream. Man, they got so many different styles and categories within hip hop. We dominate everything that we do. Dominate. You get the word domain, Lord. We're lords over everything, man. We're the people. So we got to be those people, man. If we're the special people to the most, if you're the special people to the Most High, you can do special things. Hell, the real Superman was black. Jarrell, that's a Hebrew name. Yara, what is it? Yara Allah, which means he see God. Kalal, all powerful. So the guy, what was his name? Stan Lee, was it? Did he come up with the character for Superman? So you got DC Comics and Marvel. I believe that Stan Lee, and he's Russian, but he could be a Jake, because he had a creative mind. Came up with all those superheroes. But when they created the whole story of Superman, he's from Krypton. Krypton is an actual. The Krypton is actually in the what do you call it? The periodic table of elements. I remember that in school, back in high school. There's an actual element called kryptonite. But then they say, well, Krypton is planet Krypton, all this, and that's where his weakness is. But Jake ain't got no weakness. He ain't got no weakness. When the Most High sets us up as Superman and Superwoman, we're not going to have no weaknesses, man. And all the nations are going to bow down to us. We are the X-Men. X meaning unknown. We're the unknown men. And they're being revealed. They're being revealed. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.